morning, everybody. My name is Bernard Beal. I'm a senior key account manager for Anheuser-Busch. To make it easy, that just means I sell beer. I'm a former officer in the United States Coast Guard, aka Coasties. Yeah, that's right, baby. That's right. In which I served from 2002 to 2008, and I'm a proud veteran. I'm humbly honored and grateful to be here today. When I got asked by our Northern California commercial sales director, Chris Kentley, to speak here at this event, my first response was, Chris, this is an absolute honor. And when I told my friend Anita, her first response was, you should probably leave your Clippers jersey at home. When I was asked, in the early 80s, my dad set up a Nerf basketball hoop in the hallway of our small Chicago apartment. And I've been an NBA and basketball fan since I was able to walk. So as a fan, I have the utmost respect for the 5-time world champion Golden State Warriors. Round of applause. Still waiting on the Clippers to win one. So. All right, so now I know that it's tough right now with the loss of Clay and Steph, but I played a little varsity basketball back in the day. So come on, coach, put me in. Coach Kerr, put me in. Let's get it. All right. In the 90s, I grew up watching TMC ball out for the years that they were together. And incidentally, I ran into Tim Hardaway in the Anheuser-Busch suite back in January. I was in the suite talking probably pretty loudly to one of my coworkers, and I hear a voice say, "Hey, we're trying to take a picture over here." And I turn around, and it's none other than Tim Hardaway. So I was obviously really surprised and was a really big fan of his. And I started talking to him, and I asked him, really important questions like, "Are you really 6 foot, or just listed at 6 foot? Or are you still friends with Michael Jordan?" And that was really cool. He was like the most genuine person I've ever met. And it was really cool that he just took the time to shoot the breeze with me. A couple weeks ago, I was in a restaurant in LA, and I saw Mitch Richmond walk in, and I was like, dang, what is going on here? Another NBA legend, another Warriors legend, and he saw me, looking at him, and he actually came over and just started talking to me, and I told him about the Tim Hardaway incident, and he turns around and he says, "Hey, look who's sitting over there," and it's Chris Mullin, sitting in the corner, and I was like, "What?" And then I went over. I was going to my table, and I said, "Hey, Chris, I had said something to the effect like, 'Hey, Chris, I just grew up watching you guys play,' and I also mentioned the Tim Hardaway incident, and to say something not awkward to Chris because he's kind of intimidating, and he just said something to the effect of like, yeah, keep it moving, and then I just went on to my table. For those of you guys that don't know, Chris is from Brooklyn, so I actually was like, man, that guy is so nice. So anyway, it was really cool that I had those experiences to fall back on, to kind of open up with. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a veteran of the U.S. Coast Guard. So when I came to Anheuser-Busch, one of the first things that I really admired was the AB Folds of Honor partnership. AB has donated over $15 million to Folds of Honor to help award nearly 3,000 scholarships to the spouses and children of our killed and disabled veterans. One of the ways we contribute to these veterans causes with the release of specialty brews like the Budweiser Freedom Reserve, which is inspired by a handwritten recipe by George Washington himself. It was penned in 1787. AB brewers were then able to recreate this beer utilizing his recipe. Each batch was brewed by an Anheuser-Busch veteran, and their signature is on the bottle of each of his labels. This is one of the many Budweiser beers that is brewed specifically to honor our men and women of the armed forces. As a veteran, I was extremely excited to learn that the Warriors organization was hosting this event to support our current service members and veterans. So to all the veterans, Gold Star families, and current service members, Folds of Honor, and the Golden State Warriors organization, I raise my glass. This Bud's for you.